Hi guys. So this is a completely new project. I just got the idea for it about a week ago. What kind of sparked my idea was a lot of YouTube content creators making videos about all of the new RPGs that have come out in the last year or so. I won't name names. I'm not gonna have this isn't like an opinion on which ones are bad and which ones are good. The purpose of this video series that I'm making is to showcase an old game that came out in 2011 and show how it still holds up today and why it could potentially be the single player RPG that you should try if you haven't before, or come back to it if it's been a long time since you've played. And that game is dun, 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 Skyrim. So Skyrim, as I said, came out in 2011, I believe, 2012, 2011. I know I was a junior in high school. That's what I remember about when it came out. And it was just absolutely top of its class, head and shoulders above anything else at the time. Now, with the games that have come out recently, when you compare them to Skyrim, it's interesting because Skyrim still comes out ahead in most of those cases. There are a few other games that have come out recently that are also very good. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 comes to mind, things like that. But in general, Skyrim still holds its own, and there is a massive, massive, massive community of modders who take Skyrim and add to it in ways that somebody like me, a normal gamer like me who doesn't really understand, how computer coding and design and modding and all that stuff really works. I have a very basic knowledge of those kinds of things. Someone like me, when you see some of the mods people have made, it's absolutely astounding. So Skyrim has the capability to be very customizable, and it's $40 on Steam for the special edition, which is less money than a lot of these new games that have come out, and it's, in my opinion, just as good, if not better, than many of the newer games. So what I'm going to do in this video series is I'm going to do a full immersive playthrough of Skyrim with some mods. None that really are game breaking or drastically game changing, but it's going to be a full playthrough, immersive, no camera, just listening to dialogue, kind of played in the background while you're doing stuff type of video series. Not meant to be interactive or, showcasing my personality or interacting with me. It's just gameplay and kind of immersing yourself in the world of Skyrim. Another big reason why I'm doing this is some young people. I'm dating a woman with kids. They are of an age where they like to play video games, including games like Skyrim, Zelda, things like that. And I want them to, along with other people who are younger, who are coming up in the video gaming sphere, to see this game as an option and kind of understand what came before, so to speak. But also, because Skyrim holds up so well, it's a very enjoyable experience. So that's what the video is. The video series is for. That's the purpose of the video series. What I'm going to do first here is I'm going to kind of showcase what I've done to Skyrim to customize it for myself. If you are a first-time player and you want to pick up the game, playing it completely unmodded, just as vanilla as it was intended, is completely fine. It's still an absolutely great game. But because I'm somebody who has played it so many times in the past, there's a few additions that I have added. And if you want to start where I have started, or where I am with these mods, feel free. I'm just going to showcase what I think makes sense and what I like. And so we'll start from there. So first things first, the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition. And all this is searchable. This is just a mod that the community, which all of this is just community generated, okay, which is crazy. The community made a bug fix mod. It's very, very comprehensive. It just covers a ton of different things that have been bugs that people have found in the game and tries to patch them. This should always go at the absolute top of your load order, okay? And you can drag these around and change where they are, but the unofficial Skyrim Special Edition is just a bug patch, goes at the top, okay? This one, Climates of Tamriel. Tamriel is the world of Skyrim. It adds weather, lighting effects, audio, things like that. This does change how the game looks and feels to a significant degree. It doesn't drastically change the art style or anything, but it just adds more. This is a totally optional thing that I like just because it looks nice. I've used this one before and I just like the way that it looks, so I've added it. Completely optional. This is another, again, all this is completely optional, but just to deep dive. This is a complete overhaul of one of the major faction zones, I should say, in the game. The College of Winterhold is a wizard's college, basically. It changes the way that it looks. A lot of people said that the way that Skyrim world made the College of Winterhold look was different, and they wanted it to basically be more like some older versions of the college from other games. So this is an overhaul to that. Again, completely optional. I just like this. Artifacts, the Bread and Paladin, completely don't need this. It's just a couple of items that I like that I added. Royal Armory is one that I do think is really cool. This makes some of the weapons that some of the primary characters in the game carry. It makes those weapons that those characters carry more unique and a little bit more immersive for like their high status. So Royal Armory new artifacts is pretty cool. This one I actually do recommend everyone gets. One kind of annoying thing that people thought long ago is there are very unique items in the game that when you find them, the item kind of snapshots to your level and you can't change it. So if you go through the game and you find a really, really cool item, but you find it somehow really early on in the game, it's not going to be very good, and you probably won't continue to use it later on into the game. So this makes it so that the levels of the items are always max when you find them, no matter what level you are. I do actually suggest this one. It's pretty useful and cool. Cloaks and capes. There are no cloaks and capes in vanilla Skyrim. This just adds cloaks and capes to Skyrim. Simple as that. I suggest it. It's cool. Why not? It's really small. Doesn't change anything. It's just a cool addition to have. Better loot. This is something that you definitely don't need, but it's just an added amount of like gemstones and coins found in chests. Kind of a cool little addition. Left-hand rings, kind of like the cloaks and capes, something that I suggest that really changes nothing, but just adds a little bit of something to the experience. It used to be in the vanilla game that you could only have a ring on your right hand. Now you can have a left-hand ring with this mod, which allows you to wear 2 rings. Rings can be enchanted, so technically this does increase the power creep because you can have you can have a whole other enchanted item. But whatever, it's a single-player RPG. You might as well have something like this, so go for it. This allows you to craft items that were not normally crafted in one of the DLC's Dawnguard. Again, you do not need this by any means. It's just cool to have. Here's one that I really, really, really like. Lampposts of Skyrim. There's no lampposts in the vanilla. This adds lampposts along the roads in some places. It just they look like they're supposed to be there. The person who made this did a really good job. I just think that it's kind of a no-brainer. It just makes the game world look a little bit cooler. I love it. This is the first kind of major gameplay change. Don't get me wrong, the spells in Skyrim are cool, in vanilla Skyrim. They are cool. But one of the best things about the mod community, is people have crazy, awesome imaginations. They come up with some really, really cool stuff. This creator, he's got a few that I have. His spell packages are awesome. The spells that have been added through a couple of these mods are just really, really cool. I wouldn't say they break the game, but they definitely just add some extra power to your wizard type character. If you want to be a magic wielder, Odin's Skyrim Magic Overhaul is a really, really cool one. This one I like. It does affect the FPS a little bit if you're in these wooded areas, but Forests of Skyrim just adds a bunch of trees. That's all it does. It just makes the forests feel a little bit thicker and more dense. If your PC is decent and can handle a little bit more, object rendering or whatever, add this. There's no reason not to. This is another mod from that same creator who made the Odin pack. Ordinator overhauls the perk tree system in Skyrim. The perk tree system in Skyrim is when you level up, there are perk trees that you can spec into that change how your character plays. The vanilla perk trees are cool, but they are a little bit limited. So the Ordinator Perks of Skyrim mod drastically expands the perk trees. I will be completely honest, there are some very, very overpowered things in this mod pack. But when you start playing Skyrim on the max difficulty and you want to do some crazy stuff, and if you want to play this game more than once through and play it over and over and over and over again, which you for sure might, adding things like this, the fact that you can add things like this just increases that replayability drastically. So this is a mod I would definitely try, if not the first time you play, the second time, the third time. Try it eventually. This is a really cool mod. Follower language overhaul just adds, or follower dialogue overhaul, excuse me, just adds some things that NPCs that can become your followers can talk to you about. It's definitely not needed, but it is cool, and it allows you to do some more things in the game. Faiths of Skyrim, it allows you to pray to some of the gods. All the gods are ones that are actually in the story. Everything's, lore friendly. But it allows you to have like a god you pray to and gain some extra perks. Just a cool thing to add. Fortified Whiterun is something that a lot of people have added to their game. Whiterun is a major city in the game, one of the first cities, as long as you start the vanilla way, that you will come upon. And Fortified Whiterun makes Whiterun look a lot more epic, which I think it deserves. Whiterun looks a little bit puny for like a major city, which is totally fine. It still looks good in vanilla, but Fortified Whiterun just looks better. So if you want to add that, go for it. Apocalypse Magic of Skyrim is more spells to go along with the Odin pack. You don't need both. I just have both because I played the game so many times. Having more spells is more fun for me. So Apocalypse Magic of Skyrim is just another spell pack to add to the game. The world map, quality world map, is cool. It definitely doesn't really make or break anything. I just like the world map that's been added by this creator, so I added it to my game. Races of Skyrim, Imperius. This makes it so that the race that you are gains additional perks, some kind of personal quests that go along with each race as well. Once you play with this once, you'll never go back. So my suggestion is that you play the game without this first if you want a vanilla experience, and then add it once you've beat the game a couple of times on a couple of different characters, whatever, and maybe try it out, see what it's like. Or if you just want to jump right in and have more stuff to do in the game right from the get-go, add Imperius Races of Skyrim. It's cool. Beauties of Skyrim, if you're a gooner. Enough said, okay? This just makes a lot of the younger female characters look prettier. Skyrim is a very gritty art style, and a lot of the characters have like dirt, scars, not particularly attractive characters. There are a few in the vanilla game, but Beauties of Skyrim makes it so that most of the young women are just prettier. There is also marriage and relationships that can happen in the game. So having Beauties of Skyrim makes your, wife or girlfriend a little bit hotter. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying, boys? Hey. If you want hot men, beefcakes, here's your better male presets. This does not change the males that you'll see just like running around in the game, but this gives you, I guess you could just say, hotter male characters to start from. If you're a woman who likes to play male characters who are sexy, this is great. If you're a guy who likes to play male characters who are sexy, this is great. It's just a better way to make your characters look good from the start. This is a big one. Immersive Citizens AI Overhaul. I'm not going to get into everything this does, but this definitely changes the way that the NPCs move around in the world. It won't, as far as I've found, and they do patch this stuff as well, it doesn't affect questing, it doesn't affect NPC locations drastically. It may cause it so that you have to wait for an NPC to show up to a location that they may normally would have been there already. Maybe they're on a walk, maybe they're doing something, but it definitely adds AI to the citizens. It's really, really cool, and it's a mod you can add from the start. If you don't know anything different, you'll never know the difference, obviously. It's a really cool mod. I know a lot of work went into this one, and it's just nice to have. I love it, so I added it. Okay, really, 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 really big one. If you are a new player and you want to play the game from start to finish the vanilla way, do not add this mod. This mod, Alternate Start Live Another Life, is a way for players like me who have played the game a bunch of times from the start to completely change the way the game feels from the beginning. This allows you to pick a completely different starting point in the game. It's really, really cool. There's like 10 different starting points you can start from. You can be a soldier in the Imperial Army. You can be a soldier in the Stormcloak Army. You can be a beggar on the streets. You can start as a vampire. You can start as a refugee coming in on a boat. There's a ton of different starts. It's just really cool, and definitely something that if you're somebody who plays this game multiple times will want. Alternate Start is super awesome. Kudos to whoever made this one. This one definitely changes the power creep of the game. It just gives you more perk points. I always felt like the rate you get perk points is a little bit slow. But also the fact that I have the perk tree overhaul mod, which just has more perks in general, giving yourself more perk points as you level up just allows you to interact with those perks more. It definitely increases the power creep, don't get me wrong, but when you play at a higher difficulty or you just want to feel stronger in the game, this is a great one to add. Relationship dialogue overhaul gives it so that NPCs you can have relationships with just talk to you more. There's more things they can talk about. It changes a little bit more about how allies and friends talk to you as well. They have more to say to you. So it just adds more dialogue. Again, it just makes Skyrim a little bit more immersive, adding some extra touches. These are the kinds of things that I feel like take the game from a really, really, really amazing 2011-2012 game to a still amazing 2025 game. Okay? So adding things like this is great. I can't figure out what's going on with this one. I'll just be honest. Point the Way adds signposts, but for some reason they're already in there, so there must be another mod that I have that is doing that, and I'm not aware of it. But Point the Way is a way to add signposts. It's really cool, so you can kind of, instead of having to look at your map to know where to go, you can walk up and there's going to be a signpost pointing the way, and you can take you to where you want to go. Okay, so that's the extent of my mods. Hopefully that wasn't too boring for you guys, but I do suggest trying some of these out. It just makes, as I said, it takes the game to the next level, and it makes the game a little bit more, worthy of 2025. So, that's it for kind of like my intro video. The next one is going to be the first episode, the start to my long-form journey on this Skyrim playthrough. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll catch you in the first episode. Bye-bye.